Another thing about the Jeep, the Mitsubishi Montero, right? The foster mama told me that I should let her have the $4,500 because I owe her for taking care of me for 18 years because she didn't have to because I'm not her child. So at the time, I was like, oh, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Uh, this bitch told me I owe her for. How the fuck I owe her? I didn't ask. I didn't know her at 5. She said I was 5. We was 5 or 6 months old when she took us in. We didn't know her. We didn't ask to be there. So how the fuck I owe her for taking care of me? I was already giving her money to pay bills in the house. The minute I got a job, she was taking all my checks. Every time I got paid, I'm sitting there like, what's the purpose of working? She's talking about she's teaching me responsibility. I'm like, but you taking all my checks, like all the money. And I was wondering why I was getting so little money. And then found out because we was getting a check the entire time we was with the bitch. Like the very first check I got was like 30 something dollars. When I was working at Pizza Hut, I was mad as shit. What the fuck I'm gonna do with this? I thought that, man, I was finna be clocking in big dollars. Nope. Come to find out, this bitch was getting a whole check the whole time. Didn't even know it. Then I started getting smart on her ass. And as soon as I got paid, instead of letting her go with me to cash my check, man, I was doing crazy shit, bruh. I was working, going to Bible class, in the band, in ROTC, in Taekwondo. Yeah, the other after school project was band. And I used to have to stay after school for band practice. And I had to alternate between Taekwondo and band practice. And I used to go to Bible class, and then we used to have football nights. And something happened where they had a fight or something I missed because I had skipped out because I was with Tiffany. But then I had heard that they had a huge fight. So that year, they were suspended from all activities, like for the rest of that year, parades and all. But there was a football practice that I had to go to, and then football games I had to march in. Like, I had it going on. The year before that was somewhat close to the same. You know what's funny? I really asked the foster mama, can I play basketball? And she pretty much told me, hell to the fuck no. And I think it was either Candy or my childhood best friend that was talking about getting into extracurricular activities. Because I tried to do track. Man, I swear I think I had asthma as a child, bro. Because tried to do track, and it was a no-go. It was a no-go. I couldn't keep up. Because of the foster mama, she kept smoking. Now, I did wind up smoking as I got older. But as far as trying to run, I never could run, even as a child. Never could keep up. I always get short-winded. I never could do it, but it was always a desire of mine. Always a desire of mine, but I never could do it. I almost could master push-ups more than running. I passed PT and basic training by the skin of my teeth. And that's another story to talk about. How I had a fever of 108 and had to run that 9 miles in basic training for the final test. Final completion test. I had a fever of 108 and they still wanted me to run that run. I still had to run that run. It was my TI in basic training. TI means training instructor. Was running by my side the entire time, and she would not let me give up. She kept pushing me and kept pushing me. You want to talk about if somebody could push through that, they could push through anything. You talking about 9 fucking miles. Ain't no stopping. Ain't even no stopping for no water or nothing. You got to just keep going. And I made it through that with a fucking sinus infection and a fever of 108. I had got rushed to the emergency room. They put the needle in my arm and blood started skeeting everywhere. I'm like, man, what you doing? Shit. I remember when I had almost died in 2014. My blood sugar had shot up to 720. They talking about they don't know how I walked up in there. They like at 720, you almost at comatose. You dead. I was like, I don't know. I drove up here too. Shit. They was like, By the time I got there, they said my organs started shutting down. Everything started doing like this, and then cramping up and stuff like that. I was out the door. I was getting ready to go. It started reading me my rites of passage and shit. They asked China. They was in front of China and they was asking me, how do you want to die? Like, do you want to just let them pass, let you just die, or do you want them to try to help revive you? China was about to lose her shit. But guess who was not there? Family. Guess who also was not there? Candy. And guess what family would have did? They would have pulled the plug. They would have pulled the fucking plug quick. They'd have been like, China, you don't have the authority to say any means or anything of this matter. You know, they be trying to say big words and shit. Trying to sound intelligent and shit. But China was crying, boo-hooing her ass off. Hey, China.
Yeah.
You remember the whole situation when my blood sugar was 720?
How could I not remember, man? That scared the hell out of me because the doctor called me. He said, get her back here now. I said, oh, shit. We got to go.
That was a woman, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kept saying something not right. And they was telling me we don't have, it's kind of inconvenient that you did a walk-in today because we don't really have enough patients. Like when I went to my primary care earlier that day, and something said, man, because something kept saying, go there. Then something kept saying, man, just go, man, go. Like something not right. And I was just feeling funny, man, for like 3 days. And I was just feeling just not normal. Then I seen the doctor. The doctor told me it was an inconvenience for to just do a walk-in like that. I'm like, I know, but something not right, man. I'm not feeling right. And so they told me I'll be fine. I'm fine. So I go home and that's when they called China phone. I guess they couldn't reach me. And that's when they told her, get me back there now. And got up there. By the time I got up there, my sugar had shot to 8 something. My limbs started shutting down. My organs had started shutting down. The motherfucking lady had hit an artery in my vein, or a vein in my artery, however that go. You think that getting surgery is the worst pain, the childbirth is the worst pain, or getting hit in the head with a bat is the worst pain. Oh, buddy. She hit a nerve in my artery, bruh. That's a pain you don't never want to feel. I thought that after I got out and they did a biopsy inside of my cervix was some pain. Between that, because immediately after I got out the hospital, because they kept me, right? Yeah, they kept me. And then after I got out the hospital, immediately I had an appointment for them to do a biopsy inside my cervix. And then shortly before all that, they had to do an endoscopy where they put me to sleep. And listen, all this is right after my mom died, then my dad died, then I almost died. Then after that, then Blake died. Or Blake's life was stolen from him. Me and Blake used to be like this until my mom caused chaos amongst us, just like Candy. It's not speaking ill of the dead if you're speaking facts. That's real spill. Me and him used to be tight till that woman sat there and spread rumors saying me and him was fucking. That was like my favorite cousin. Him and Rebecca. We was tight before I went to the military. We came back and she seen me and him was too close, too cool. I would let him drive my car and everything. We was hanging out, everything. She didn't like that shit. She don't like seeing people too happy. Sound familiar? That shit was fucked up because even though he was younger than me, my younger cousin, I looked up to him. That was my buddy. And a whole bunch of chaos just in the family in general. Just we never was able to reach out way back to being just too tight again. So that's crazy. But there wasn't no thing where I wanted to fight him or just had beef with him, no type shit like that. It's just we fell away. But still, he was my cousin. And my love never went away from him as my cousin. And I don't know if he seemed like before he passed away, he felt some type of way about me. But before I could say anything on the phone, he hung up in my face. I'm like, damn, okay. Shit. I'm like, that's awful. That was the last conversation I had with him. Very awful. Couldn't even get a word in. And it was a manly, dang man, what's going on? What's your deal? You just blasting on the phone. Can't do nothing about it now. I never got to get closure with that. But my closure is that I know I don't have no beef with him. Wyatt kept trying to stir up beef when he was here. But I'm like, nigga, I know better. Just like he kept trying to stir up beef, trying to say like my sister Belinda was talking bad about me when she was here. I mean, when she was alive. I'm like, the only way she can be talking bad about me is if you had to be putting stuff in her head about me. That's the only way. I said, because she didn't know me. They say she held me when we was a child or changed my diapers when I was a baby. When we got on the phone, we never had an argument. We never had an argument, me and my sister Belinda. And nigga, I'ma leave it at that. Me and my sister Belinda never had an argument. And for him to sit here and say she felt a certain type of way about me, and then which in another way, I'm like, okay, she's one of us, so I shouldn't be surprised. But I just probably want to just, for my sanity, just leave it where I saw it. That we never had an argument, and just leave his drama at the door. That nigga, the whole time he was here, so and so said this about you, so and so said that about you. He made me so mad with Ramona. I was about to pick up the phone and call Ramona and tell her, bitch, fuck you and your birthday. And then he tried to block that. I'm like, well, why you sitting there getting me all gassed up, pissed off about this woman? And then you sit there and try to block me from confronting her. Like, you full of drama, dude. You act like a whole female. Like, real talk, I'm sick of this whole family, bruh. I really am. I fell today, by the way. I don't even want to show y'all. But it's evidence that my big ass fell. I tripped over my sheets and lost balance and fell. Only thing hurt is my foot. But I'm alright. I had to call for China to come help me up. It's fucked up how Wyatt tried to create division between me and my sister Belinda, talking about her rape was worse than your rape, and then tried to insinuate that I don't care about her being raped. Boy, don't do that. I just don't want to share my grief of her, that happening to her, with you. I can share my feelings about that with China. Yes, that is fucked up. Of course it's fucked up. That's my sister. Of course I'm going to show compassion. But nigga, I don't want to show that with you. Because you sat there and you teased me about it happening to me. You bullied me about that happening to me. You laughed at me about that happening to me. But then you sit there in my face and want to show compassion about it happening to someone else. And then try to rub it in my face. And then you try to use oh, you don't care about Belinda? She's dead. How you going to do that? Don't do that to me, bruh. Don't do that. That's narcissism. Don't play that on me. I just don't want to share that grief with you. I don't want to share that grief with you. And if you can't understand that, then you are a narcissist. And all I kept asking you is give me my space. Don't do that. And then you kept on and on and on and on and on with this shit. Kept drilling it. And then tried to reverse psychology because I didn't want to hear it. Trying to make like, oh, I didn't care about it happening to her. Don't lie on me, bruh. Especially I care. Because especially who you said did it to her. I just don't want to share that with you. Because that's betraying me. Because of how you treated me with my situation. Man, you out of your damn mind. And then you're trying to compare my situation to my deceased sister's situation. Do you see, like, I can't explain it. I explained it in the past. But you see how fucked up that is? Her situation is worse than mine. Both situations is fucked up. The fuck is you talking about? We're both your sisters, nigga. You nigga, quit smoking that fucking cocaine. Quit shooting it up your ass. Or whatever you do to this shit. Quit fucking sniffing that meth, man. If you can't see why I don't want to share that with you. Now all of a sudden you want me to console you? That's just like Dwayne called me and told me, now this nigga, I couldn't pay this dude to be in his children's life. I kept asking him to be in his children's life, to bond with his children. I said, nigga, I ain't even got you on child support. And you won't come spend time with your children. You won't spend time with your children. But this nigga called me to tell me that his other baby mama, in which, that burns me up. He called me to tell me that his other baby mama won't let him see his child. That's what I'm talking about. You had a mama over here that didn't mind you spending time with your children. That wanted you to spend time with your children. And even when you spent time with the children, you did it in a fucked up way. But now you calling me, what I'm supposed to do? You calling me, telling me your baby mama don't want to let you see your daughter. And then got the nerve to ask me, am I okay with being a stepmom? Like, nigga, it's not like I have a choice. Bitch, you don't want to give me a fucking divorce. Niggas these days. I have a right to grieve Melinda in my own way. I have a right to grieve Blake on my own. While the family bashing me because I didn't go to his funeral. I have a right to not want to be around their toxic asses. Uncle Daryl, I found out about that Uncle Daryl at the last minute. But even then, I have a right to grieve on my own. And then they said that Wyatt said that keep bashing me about not wanting to go to funerals. Bruh, if you don't understand PTSD and your ass supposed to have it, how your ass supposed to have PTSD and you don't understand it or can't respect it? The whole family bashed me for my PTSD symptoms. And then Candy on here talking about some being bashed for her targeting. Okay. My husband used to do sick shit regarding trying to do things to aggravate my PTSD symptoms. And literally thought it was funny. Now he a goofy ass little dude. He's goofy. And all that stuff about Candy be talking about some, oh, so-and-so did this and thought it was funny, and so-and-so did this and thought it was funny. Can you put it in the right place when you say somebody thought something was funny? Like saying I put my kids in foster care and thought it was funny. Like, bruh, what at does that remotely make sense? If I thought it was funny, I wouldn't be on the fucking internet arguing with your ass every day about my children. Animal. Actually, on me next. Talking about some, Oh, my bullying campaign. So you got a campaign going. So you raising you're a nominee for some shit. You got a campaign going on. Campaign. Didn't know this was a campaign. So I guess me, Veggie Jess, and who else? Kimberly Harper, Starbreaker, David Jane, all of us. I guess we are all the candidates for your campaign. And whoever get the most votes is the biggest bully. Get the fuck out of here. You, you say you got a bachelor's degree, but you got it in the wrong place. And let's talk about this bachelor's degree. You gonna tell these fine folks that your first bachelor's degree, why you wanna call me Dykester, was your first bachelor's degree was you was a gynecologist, going to be a gynecologist to go look at pussy? And what the foster mama said, you going to sit there and look at pussy all day. Your ass be done got mad and be done fucking cut somebody pussy open. You know, the foster mama said your ass wasn't qualified to be no fucking gynecologist. And you argued her ass down. You was adamant about being that gynecologist looking at some goddamn stank pussy all day. Looking at some goddamn STDs all day. Or whatever potential shit you might be looking at all day. That some rank pussy gonna be in your face all day. No, I'm just joking about that. There's a lot of people you're supposed to clean before you even go there. But I'm Dykester. But you wanted to get paid looking at pussy all day. But I'm Dykester. Then that didn't work out for you for whatever reason. And then you went to Spanish and interpreting. You want to tell these fine folks how you used to tell people we was mixed with Spanish when we were younger? When they used to ask about our hair, or ask about our eyes, or our accent? Because our accent is slightly different from the people actually in New Orleans. They used to say we sound Jamaican. I'm like, I still don't understand how they say we sound Jamaican though. But you used to tell people we was mixed with Spanish. When we used to go to what you call it? We used to call it camp. We used to go to camp, and they used to have the basketball field, and they used to have these good ass sandwiches. I don't know why they used to give it to us every damn day though, but I didn't mind because them some good ass sandwiches. Had the right amount of mustard and mayonnaise on them bitches, and I forgot what kind of drink, and some regular Lay's potato chips. I used to feel like it wasn't enough though, and I used to stay hitting the playing the basketball and hitting the threes. What they call that, the 3 point? And I was getting pretty good at it too. I think I even got in a fight up in that motherfucker. I got stung by a bee in that motherfucker. Candy was up in there telling them motherfucker we was mixed with Spanish. I was like, no. Because Candy is ashamed of being black. And we got the junior high. They thought we was mixed with all kind of shit. Because Candy one day telling them we mixed with this. Another day telling them we mixed with that. I'm like, man, we black. Then we got older. Come to find out we actually is mixed. But not with the shit she was saying we was mixed with. Crazy shit. I don't know. biological mama said it was black, French, and Indian, and then she said a little Haitian. And then another time I talked to her, she said Haitian. And then I was like, I don't know if I can believe anything she said, but I did say, that black, French, and Indian kind of made sense. And I was talking to a lot of other people, and I'm like, that Creole makes sense. Cause I started looking up Creole, and it mean like black, French, and Indian, but then it did say a little bit of Spanish too. I was like, oh, probably is. But mostly all this time, I was just knowing it was black, French, and Indian. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm black. That's why I gotta fill out on the when I'm filling out paperwork and stuff. Candy, I'd probably be filling out some other color or some other ethnicity or some shit. Because Candy is miserable in her own skin. And I don't know why, because when her skin clears, mine never fully clears up. When her skin clears up, I'll be like, man, if we ever got cool, I would ask her what's her secret. But that's never going to happen. I'll figure out my secret on my own. But it's probably mostly because when she be out there walking and get that little sweat on her a little bit, and she get that glow, that glow I was talking about, that girl in the other video, that glow. I'm like, one day I'm gonna get that glow. One day. But it depends on how I drink a shitload of water too. So I'm like, it's not that. It must be my medications be drying my ass out. And I gotta pee again. So gotta go.